Yeah, we have to manage a lot of the players. Some of them probably not going to be fit to be able tomorrow. Some of them are still out, so we have still 24 hours to make those decisions and hopefully the right ones.
Players missing from training today: Nigerian Timber, Alexander Zinchenko, Thomas Partey, Gabriel and Ricardo Calafiori. Are you able to give any updates on any of them?
Yeah, we have to manage a lot of the players. Some of them probably not going to be fit to be able tomorrow. Some of them are still out, so we have still 24 hours to make those decisions and hopefully the right ones.
Has it been trying to deal with this injury crisis pretty much all the way through the season?
It is what it is. At the end we have to accept the challenge, and there's opportunities for other players as well to do that. In the ideal scenario we have to be in charge of making those decisions because it's forcing us to make it for the wrong reasons, but as well we need to accept the reality and move forward.
On that, how hard is it to be able to play the football you want to, not being able to have a settled backline pretty much throughout the whole season?
Well, I'm really happy the way we are playing, and the good thing is that there's no conditioning the team in such a way that we have to become a different team. So I'm very pleased with that, the way the team is adapting, the way players are making the effort to play in different positions, and hopefully the ideal situation will come up very soon and we can do what we want.
Obviously you have a great record from set pieces, and I know you've scored 16 goals in your last 5 games, but do you feel we need to create more chances from open play?
We want to create more from every angle, and from set piece as well. We could have created more, we created and we should have scored another 1 or 2. So always trying to evolve and be better.
Darmish from Sky.
Hello, Mikel.
Hello.
I know it wasn't the result that you wanted on Sunday, but is the feeling around the place slightly different to when you've had setbacks in the past? Because you seem really, really positive following that game.
Yeah, and the more I watch it, the more, to conceive what we conceive and how the hell we draw that game is difficult to understand, but it's the beauty of football as well. So we will adapt, obviously put our heads up. It was disappointing, it was very emotional as well because scoring the second one and getting disallowed, it was tough, but we have to move every 3 games. It's another opportunity and we need to keep going.
The majority of your players had their first experience of the Champions League last season. What did you learn from that experience, and is there a belief and a feeling maybe that you can create something special this season?
Yeah, we have to do a lot of the things that we do in the Premier League. I mean, the tendency always is to look at the Champions League like something else. So how big is the Premier League? How big is the Champions League? You know, the Premier League is this size and the Champions League is this size. We face incredible difficult opposition every week, you know. That's the good thing, that when we come up now against a really good team like Monaco, that they are doing incredibly well, we are so used to it because we play every 3 days against this kind of opposition. So, yeah, it's learning about certain things, certain scenarios that are different because Champions League is different a certain way, but there are a lot of similarities in the way we have to compete day in, day out in the league.
Final one from me. You've spoken about how big an influence your captain has been since he returned, Martin Odegaard. He's also had a big change in his life recently with the birth of a baby boy. Have you noticed anything different about him?
That's for him probably to discuss it, but so proud to see them growing in our class, around our people, and making them feel happy, you know, that is the right environment for them to grow as a person, as a football player, as a father in this case, and we are really happy to have this great news in the team.
Simon, Egan Standard.
Mikel, can I just check on availability? I know Josh Nichols is someone who could play in that defence, but didn't look like he was at training. Is he another one who's out at the moment?
He's been with some issues. We don't know still whether he's available or not.
I can ask you about Gabriel Jesus. It's obviously been a difficult run for him. I think it's 1 goal in 31 games. Just how is he emotionally and mentally at the moment? Because it's probably his longest run of his career. He's had a period like this.
Like strikers, you know, they go on phases, in moments, and yeah, that gap is become big. It's true that obviously there happen a lot of things there. It happen injuries, absences, no playing or starting games that much, but his attitude has been really good. It always is, and we're going to try to help him to overcome that situation as quick as possible.
There were some reports in Brazil last week that you'd be willing to let him go in January. Is that the case?
Yeah, no sense.
Okay, we'll go to Kaya from
Hi, Mikel. After the Chelsea game, before the international break, the amount of injuries you had, you described it as an absolute nightmare. You started to feel like that all over again with the amount of players missing.
I was hoping to improve it, and it did improve, but very quickly after the first game we started to have issues, probably more issues as well than we expected. But honestly, the good news is that the team still reacts, plays in the way that we want, become so dominant, and we want to continue to do that regardless of who plays. And I think that belief is within the team, and that's very positive.
With so many players potentially missing a fullback, could be an opportunity for Kieran Tierney maybe to come back into the team. He's obviously been away and absent for so long, but is he ready to start?
Yeah, he's ready, and he's training really well, and he's going to have an opportunity for sure. The way the team is looking at the moment, he's going to do that for that reason, and because he's earned it as well. The way he's behaved, the way he's been with us, because he's willing to do it, and when that happens, you have to give opportunities to those kind of players.
Art Athletic.
Hi Mikel, just on players being unavailable, when you have to make those changes, I know you're quite big on units and how they work, is that something that's kind of big in your mind when you're having to make those selection decisions?
Yeah, because they haven't played together enough, and you have to alter, and you have set some positions in relation to especially the outside play. You have 2, 3 or 0 left-footed sometimes, and that affects in certain ways our dynamics and the way we want to especially attack. But again, we have to adapt, we have to find ways to overcome that and still be very efficient and positive in the way we want to play, and it's been a good challenge.
Okay, last two in the live section. We'll go to Phil from PA.
Hi, Mikel. Just on the injuries, do you have any understanding as to why it keeps happening?
Well, it's a knock-on effect. We have a lot of joint injuries, that are very difficult to predict, to assess. We have some that has been through tackles, for example, that are again quite difficult to avoid. And the other ones probably is overload, the amount of minutes that they have to play. The knock-on effect of having 1 or 2 players not available means that you put more stress and more minutes in somebody else. And that's not a good change, because the consequences and the load of other players starts to be too high or much higher than what you want to do. But this is where we are.
And I know there's been a lot of focus on Arsenal scoring from set pieces, but are you worried at all that Arsenal aren't scoring enough from open play?
No, I don't worry, because when I watch the game again, the situation that we had in open play and what the opposition has created in open play, I don't know if we can do much more than that, especially when I watch Fulham, the previous games against the opposition that they've played. And because the set piece is a consequence of what we do in open play and how we do defensively. And it's a phase that is part of that. And you guys, I know that you see it like this is set piece, this is open play, and I see it like this is open play and set pieces. It's all together with the rest starts of play. But I respect that a lot.
Okay.
I don't agree, but I respect.
Nick at the back from Haters.
Hi Mikel. What are your thoughts on Monaco? What's your assessment of Monaco?
Well, I'm really impressed. Really good side. You see the run that they've been in the Champions League and in the league, especially against top opposition. So a real threat. Is a team that is superly well organized, really intense, really good in transition moments as well, and with a lot of quality. So it's going to be a very good test for us tomorrow.
And finally, what are your memories of playing against them? I think it's a while ago, but when you were at Paris, you played a couple of times against them, didn't you?
Yeah, it's good, and as well, I think we have a really good link with Arsene, with Thierry as well. There is a big history there as well. It's a very special club, very special place. So yeah, welcome them here and hopefully be better than them and try to win the game.